It's amazing that every time I played GTA on PlayStation 2 or on PC, it was never to play the story mode, but just to use cheat codes and go wild in the city. However, with the release of Grand Theft Auto 6 on the way, I thought it was worth playing the main games in the franchise and finally getting to know their stories. Hi, I'm Valle, and in this video, I'm going to share my experience playing GTA 3 for the first time. GTA 3 was developed by DMA Design, which would later become Rockstar North, and published by Rockstar Games in October 2001. And as a fun fact, in Japan it was published by Capcom, and the version I played was the definitive edition released in 2021. Disgusting. GTA 3 follows Claude, a criminal betrayed by his girlfriend Catalina during a heist in Liberty City. After escaping from prison, Claude gets involved with gangs, mobsters, and underworld figures, carrying out missions that involve robberies, assassinations, and trafficking to climb the criminal hierarchy. But when it comes to the story, we're more like the crime chauffeur and a total errand boy. As for the gameplay, it's actually pretty smooth. We run, jump, or at least try to jump, honestly, because he doesn't really jump properly, but we do jump, run, and shoot. Anyway, it has decent gameplay for its time if we stop to think about it. It's all standard third-person game mechanics that work well and really well for that era, okay? I played the definitive edition, which is different from the original release, and there were a lot of complaints about that version. Here it's good, it received some updates. The game looks nice, and something I found interesting is that they kept the essence of the original graphics, you know, with a bit of a makeover, an update. But it's not really a remake where everything is redone from scratch. It's just some textures and models that were changed. I actually think this is a standard for remastering PlayStation 2 games that would work really well nowadays, right? It's just to keep the library preserved, you know, with slightly better quality, but still maintaining the original essence. Here we have a very large city with lots of places. I find it amazing how this game ran on the PlayStation 2 because the map is huge and there are so many things happening at the same time. Of course, in this PC version, the map density must have increased, right? Everything that happens is due to the processing power. But if you look at the size of this map for the PlayStation 2 era, it's unbelievable. One thing I found really interesting and worth highlighting is how the 3 islands on the map are interconnected. Man, that's just insane. The locations are connected, so you can drive from one island to another by car. It's really a meticulous piece of work. The driving mechanics work well, and shooting in the game, I think this will evolve in the next games, but here it was fine. Nothing too difficult, you know. Some weapons have a looser aim, others have aim assist, and yes, since I played with a controller, I ended up using aim assist. I think that's the default setting in the game, right? Some weapons don't have aim assist, like the sniper, but it's fine, man. Nothing too complicated either. And another funny thing is that usually during encounters, the NPCs just stand still shooting, so it's really easy, right? In some parts. One of the main things that bothered me on our journey is that Cloud, our protagonist, doesn't speak. This makes all the cutscenes with dialogue feel empty and pretty soulless. And to be honest, I couldn't really form that connection with the character. He's very empty, soulless. I don't know, man. He doesn't talk. He doesn't have a personality that makes you go, wow, this character is really cool. So that really bothered me a lot, and it totally breaks the immersion. But, you know, we're talking about a game from 2001. Narrative games were just starting to take their first steps. Another thing I also find funny is that the story is really simple, man. You meet a guy from the criminal world, then you do some missions for them. In the meantime, you meet another crazy guy from the crime scene. The guy recommends you anyway. You do a job for him, and then this main guy ends up betraying you, and later you go and take him out on someone else's orders. And man, it's really simple. We're basically the biggest lackey in the game, you know? So there's no way around it. But that's how the game goes until the end. We keep meeting people and working for them, and that's it. Nothing is really well developed, and the way everything happens is just so messed up, man. Oh, it's really messed up. It's really messed up. I find it really funny that in the last mission, whichever character we're working for always complains about our work, then wants to kill us, and it just keeps following that formula. The game has characters that even seem interesting, but the fact that we don't have any real interaction with them kind of breaks the immersion. Actually, it doesn't just kind of break it really breaks it a lot. One thing that's gonna bother you while playing is that at some point you'll be walking around the city and enemy gangs will just start shooting at you, like out of nowhere, really out of nowhere. You could be in a car speeding by at 100 miles an hour, and the guys will have some kind of magnet and start shooting at you. Although they can't actually kill you inside the car, they'll just wreck your car anyway. The worst part, what really gets on your nerves is when you're in the middle of a getaway during a mission, you're running from the cops, and then they start shooting at your car. Then your car explodes. At that point, man, you have to get out of the car really fast. I mean, sometimes you don't even make it out of the car, but when you do manage to get out, you have to find another car and get the hell out of there. You can't just stand there facing off against those guys. I mean, you can technically, but it's a waste of time. And man, those slow pokes in the middle of the street get in the way so much. Oh my god, man. But after a while, you kind of start ignoring them, so everything gets a lot easier. The real problem is when you're in a chase with a car that's already badly damaged and they end up landing that fatal blow that sets your car on fire. Then man, you're gonna have to get the hell out of there, bro. And in the game, we can't swim, let alone jump. We do have a jump, actually. But man, there was a part in the game while I was streaming where I got stuck on a bridge because I couldn't jump. I had to go off into the void just to respawn and come back. Yeah, that annoyed me. It annoyed me a bit, but it's part of the game. But those are just some things you can let slide. However, what you can't let slide is forgetting to hit that super cool like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel grow, and now you can hype up the videos. So when you see the option to hype up the videos because it'll help YouTube boost our recommendations here. And another thing that really bothered me during my playthrough is the fact that Claude gets tired really quickly. Okay, so the chat told me that there are missions, if I'm not mistaken, they're paramedic missions, where you can improve his stamina, but those missions are really time-consuming and pretty annoying to do. I was like, man, I'm not gonna do it. And I ended up not doing them. But seriously, when I say his stamina is low, it's really low. He takes 3 steps and he's already dying, man. That just doesn't work, right? And something that really left me disappointed was the end of the game, because we spend most of the time leveling up, making money, buying armor, building up our arsenal. And if you stop to think about it, in most games, when you have this kind of progression, the ending tends to be easier. I'm talking about being fully geared up, having your character leveled up, and the expectation is that the ending will be balanced. But that's not what happened in the game, man. In the last mission, we simply lose all our arsenal and have to chase after Catalina. Man, I didn't think I was going to have such a headache with this mission, because what an annoying mission. First, we lose our arsenal, so we're really limited and we have to save our friend. And I put our friend in big quotation marks because of this thief. We left the mafia, we were getting along really well with Salvatore's crew, and man, this woman made up a lie about us, and then everything went downhill. My god, Claude, women don't like you, my friend, they just don't. Man, what a character to get screwed over because of a woman, huh? That's Claude, our tough guy Claude. And so this ending ends up being frustrating in terms of player satisfaction because you lose your entire arsenal. Anyway, I thought that was kind of lame because usually in games you start off weak and then you get stronger as you go, like in God of War 2, right? And no, you keep getting better and better, and then at the end you lose everything. It's messed up. But I think the worst mission in the game is hunting for stuff on the map. Here it was the mission with the little stalls. Man, what an annoying mission. I hate this kind of task in games, it's so frustrating. Wow, Valle, you complain too much. Yes, I do complain. Missions where you have to hunt for things that are hidden with nothing marked on the map are really annoying. It's so frustrating, man. Regarding the interface, since I played this remaster, I believe they improved a lot of things, including that little screen where you select different weapons just by pressing R2 and L2, right? Which would change your arsenal in that little square. No, now you open an arsenal and choose with the analog stick, like in Spider-Man, and I think it's the same in GTA 5 too. I've already seen people in gameplay, switching weapons in the game, and it works like that. And one thing that really falls short in terms of the interface is the game's map. During some missions, they direct us to specific places on the map, right? Specific regions with specific names. And the map doesn't have any guidance, at least not in the version of the definitive edition I played. There are no names for the locations on the map. I think if it had that, it would make things a bit easier. So like, they send us to some specific regions and there's nothing indicating that on the map. I'm not talking about having the exact point where you need to go, but at least the names of the locations, the neighborhoods they want us to go through, and there aren't any, so it ends up being kind of messed up. I think the locations should be labeled on the map. It would make it much easier for us to focus on the regions they're asking for. and I really think that kind of breaks the game's rhythm and immersion. As for the soundtrack, I can't really comment because I played this game live here on the channel, so due to copyright issues, I couldn't listen to the game's music, so I don't have an opinion about it, which is a shame, right? It's the music industry's fault for not being able to do something cool when it comes to content creation, unfortunately. However, the game's audio is really good. If you think about that time, it's really dynamic, it has the sound of traffic, it's lively, really lively. And one interesting thing about this version is that in the main cutscenes, it seems like they remastered the game's audio, right? You can feel it more clearly, it's easier to hear. But in some cutscenes, at least I came across one like this, the sound was really blown out, you know? The standard PlayStation 2 sound? Kind of compressed, I don't know, squashed, whatever, and it sounded kind of messed up, but man, I only came across one dialogue like that, you know? So it's all good. The real shame is the soundtracks, and I think that's going to be a problem that will persist throughout the whole franchise, at least for me, and that's a real shame. A real shame. GTA 3, despite its problems, manages to be fun. It's the first 3D GTA that Rockstar made, and what they did here is incredible. And man, what this game brought to the table, especially being the first 3D entry in the franchise, is just mind-blowing. It's a living game, with pedestrians diving in front of your car. You can't put a price on that, man, it's just so funny. You try to dodge the guys, and they just throw themselves at your car, man. How? Why? I'm really looking forward to continuing my journey in the next GTAs and seeing how the franchise evolves. And to be honest with you, I hated this protagonist. I hope that gets better in the next games. And a big thank you to the channel members. You can become a member and support the channel financially so we can improve the quality and frequency of our videos. Right here on the side, I'll leave my complete journey in GTA 3, and if you want to see my other reviews, I'll leave them here as well. That's it for now, see you next time.